Right. Yeah. So we started the lecture by discussing this question. Ki find frequency of numbers in an array. Example was 1, 3. You don't need even copy and something. It's fine if you are not. It's up to you. Just look. I'll just send you all the notes and so. So let's take an example. That's something like this. Key we have 2, 1, 3, 3, 5, 10, 10. This we'll just do it. Okay. So now there. So let's say you need to find the frequency. So at the end, your answer should be like this. The frequency of 2 is like I can see is 1. 1 ka frequency is 1. 3 ka frequency is 2. 5 ki frequency is 1, and 10 ki frequency is 2. Right. So now how to solve this problem? Let's say you don't know map or anything on anything. So what we can do is we discuss two approaches. One is the brute force, where what we are doing is we are starting with 2 and then we are comparing it with every element. I hope you can write the code for this basic solution. So while it first choose 2 for inside, so there will be 2 nested loops. I'll start with 2, then I'll compare with all the other elements, and I'll see if there is no one matching it 2, so the frequency of 2 is 1. Then I'll start with 1. I'll see if any other elements are there. So 1 ka frequency will be 1. Now I'll start with 3. I will see here. So I'll find some other number also which is equal to 3. So 3 ka frequency will be 2. 5 ka frequency will be 1, and similarly 10 ka frequency will be 2. But the problem was the complexity of this solution is n square, right? Now second approach we discussed was a hashing. So hashing looks very cool word, but it's very simple. So what we do is we just create an empty array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so again I'll see here. So what we do is like we create every index as a number. So till now we are just in basics only. In basics we just used to use array as a something to store, but array is very powerful, so we can also utilize the index. So so I encountered 2. I incrementing the index of 2 as 1. So what I'm doing is a of, let's say this array name is frequency. So what I am doing is frequency of a of I plus plus. So what this line means is, let's say for I is equal to 0, I will be at 2. Now, so 2 ka frequency is increased. So initially everything is 0. Let me just mute one thing. Yeah, fine. Okay. So for now 1 will come and 1 ka frequency will be 1. Now 3 will come. 3 ka frequency initially is 1. Then again 3 comes and I'll increase it to 2. So after iterating overall, 5 ki frequency will be 1 and 10 ki frequency will be 2. And we'll just print this array. So it will, if you look at closely at this, so it is showing that this is my index and this is my value. So index is 1, value, or we can say it is frequency. So basically we are using this array as some other different thing, which is, so index is telling me the number and value is telling me the frequency. So 2 ka frequency is 1, 3 ka frequency is 2, 5 ka frequency is 1, and 10 ka frequency will be 2. Now we also discuss the pros and cons of it. So one of the con was we cannot index big numbers, and big numbers is greater than 10 to the power 8, because we cannot, or 10 to the power 7, because we cannot create an array which is greater than 10 to the power 7 or 10 to the power 8. Second problem was we cannot we cannot, what was it? Yeah, we cannot, so we were using a lot of space. So space part was like this. I'll just show. Let's say you have two numbers, 1 and 5 and 1, over 3 numbers. I'll just mute 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sorry. One frequency will be 1, 5K frequency is 1, and 1K frequency is 2. So this was I was trying to say that we are wasting this much of memory. We don't need this extra memory because but now in this case it is simple, but let's assume that we have two numbers 1 and 100. What is going to happen? We'll just use 1 and then these 99 spaces will be empty and this number will be 1. So we are wasting a lot of memory over here, right? You're able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now to overcome these two problems, and there are various other problems as well. Like I can show you one problem is like, let's say ki I need to find the frequency of, so now we are able to find the frequency of numbers. But let's say I'm giving you some strings. Let's say my name is Shikhar, Rahul, and Shikhar. Now you need to find the frequency of these strings. So you cannot solve it using array, or you have to do some hashing and all. But it is seems very complicated as of now. So
Yes, sir.
now let's look at this array very closely that we have made. So it has some index and it has some value, right? Similarly, what map does is map also provides you some key and value. So inside this array also you are just mapping the index to its value, or basically frequency. So map also gives you a very powerful container which comprises of keys and values which are tied together. So one key cannot exist without its value. So these are a pair. You can consider always these as always as a pair. These always will be together. So now let's start our thing again. So this is a map. Let's say map is something that we'll see the code later on. So map, what we have discussed is map has some key, map has some value. So what I showed earlier is just imagine map as a empty table or a container. Let's assume simple as a table. So now it also does the same thing as array but in a simpler way. So what it does is it will see 1. You can store inside it in a table. You see there is no 1 inside table. How you will see that we'll check later. But let's assume you are able to know everything about the map, about this table. So you see that there is no single 1 initially. So you just you will just setting key. Yeah, this is my key and this is my value. Value is the frequency right now. Key is my number. So 1 is map to 1. Now 2 will come. 2 will map to 1. Now 1 will come and I know that there is already a 1 inside the map. So I will just increase the value because I am getting another 1. So I'll just increment it. So with this 1 will become, this 1 will become 2. Now 5 will come. 5 will become 1. So now you can see there are no 3, no 4, which was in the case of array. So for this problem only, array was like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this was 2, this was 1, and this was 5 was 1. But we were wasting this much of space. So that's how map is powerful. But now let's see here how we gonna use map in our language or code. So first, to create this table or map, we will see the syntax and all. So now one more thing is map provides you very flexibility. Key and values can be anything. You can provide. Let's say so we solve one problem is of space. Space problem got solved. Second problem was the big numbers problems. Let's say you have a number. Let's say you have two numbers. One is 1. Basically, it is two numbers, not anything. So one number is 1 and one is 10 to the power 14. Now in array there was no index as 10 to the power 14, but in table we are only storing two numbers. The problem with array was we are not able to allocate the memory till 10 to the power 14 numbers. Now here it's very simple, so we can just put the map and 10 to the power 14 as 1, right? So we are still utilizing only two memory blocks, you can say. In array we had to use 10 to the power 14 blocks, which was not feasible. So that's how map solves our these two problems. Now we'll see ki how we have to code this. Ki how we first we'll see how do we need to create this table. So that's, I'll just write a code. Okay, you are able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like you already know, must be knowing this, that you need to write some libraries. So this map is present in this library hash include map.
Sir, can't we just include std/c++? Right?
Yes, you can include that also, but I generally, matlab, you should know ki which library is present inside where, because sometimes that std c++ or bits std c++ does not work with every compiler. So but you should, so that's why I'm saying you should also know ki which containers are in which library. Got it?
Okay, sir.
So let's say we have some int n, like our problem. So we have n numbers. We are just inputting how many numbers are there. So what I will do is for I is equal to I less than n. Let's assume we are storing these numbers inside an array. So let's say our numbers will be, our array size will be 1000. That depends on question. So let's assume when writing a comment, n will be always between 1 to 10 to give 1000. So I generally code like this. So I just allocate 3-4 extra blocks so that no corner case get filled. So C in A of I, right? Now, so we have got the input array. Now we had to create a map out of this. So map also, the map syntax is like this: map, key, value, and map name. Now your key and value depends on the question. So if I look at this question, so here our key, so this is our key. These are our keys. So keys are numbers, right? And frequencies are also numbers. So, and you know the range. So let's say a range is up to, so my A of I will always less than, let's say 10 to the power 5. So I know that it can fit inside an integer. So here my key should be int and my values also should be int. So that we are going to do over here. And let's give this name as frequency. You can give any name, A, B, C, D, whatever you want. Now, what we were doing is we were just traversing it. So initially when nothing is there, map knows key everything is 0. Basically there is no key as such. So you just like array, we can do like this. So this is a very powerful line and we'll discuss it again. We'll discuss it over here. So what I'm doing is m of A of I, or not m, basically m is frequency, basically my map frequency. Frequency of A of I plus plus. So what line this just line does is inside is like initially, let's say these are 3 numbers. I have these 3 numbers. So it will see, so frequency of 1 will find whether there is already a 1 inside a table or not. So it will see there is no 1. So, and initially if there is no 1, it will, the value will, the default value will be always 0. So you can imagine is as like nothing is there. So it will automatically set it as 1 because initially its value was 0. Now 3 will come, 3 will also set as 1. Now 3 will come again. So now it knows key 3 is already present inside. So it will increase the counter. So just imagine it, you can look at this table from the outside. you cannot go inside right now. Just map is doing everything inside its own. What you know is you can just set some values inside this table and get some values. So one thing again you can see is we are not storing any index for 2 or something, so it is saving us space. Now let's say if I have a number 100, so what it will do is it will create one more entry, 101. So this is the first part of our question. Here we have created a map, but now we have to print it also. So there always are two things inside any STL containers also. One is the setting part, another one is the traversal. Here I have created a map, but now how I will
Sir, sir, how the keys are getting stored, sir? We know that the values are by default they are 0. So how the keys are getting stored? So as soon as any element is coming, the key is becoming in the container.
Yes. So ultimately, you don't want to go in detail. So ultimately, this is getting implemented by a binary search tree. So you don't need to care right now ki how it is getting installed inside. You just imagine ki yaar, this map is storing the keys inside this container. You don't know how it is working ki yaar, where it is setting and where it is getting from. You just visualize it as a single table.
Okay, so the line frequency of AI++ means that as soon as any entry come, it will create a key there and it will increment its value by 1.
Exactly.
As soon as a new entry
so
come.
This line means yes. First, it will check whether that key is already present inside or not.
Okay, sir.
So first, so let's say we have one number comes like 15. Okay. So it will first, just imagine, it will first check 15 is inside this table or not.
Okay, sir.
It is not there. So, but we are asking to increase the frequency by 1. So it will imagine the default value as 0 and it will create an entry
sir.
with 0 plus 1 1.
Okay. Or as soon as the new entry come, it will create the key and it will increment its value by 1.
Yes, right. So and if the same value comes again, it will check here it's already present inside, so it will just increment as 2. Basically the previous value plus 1.
Okay.
Like we used to do it in array. Got it?
Got it, sir.
Okay.
So sir, I have another doubt. So I've been coding in C. So in C, there is no hash function defined. So we have to define our own function.
Right.
So in that case, we have to initialize it to hash function to is equal to flower bracket 0, so that all the hash entries will become 0. But in
right.
C++, how do we do it, sir?
So initially for an array you are asking, right?
For a hash table only.
So what do you use
for a hash table? Like initially you define it as map of int, right?
Right.
So what will be there in the map initially as you define?
So map will be
will
always
have garbage values.
No. So map does not have anything. It is clearly empty.
Oh, okay. So no need to explicitly define it to equal to flower bracket 0 or something.
No,
like that,
nothing.
Right?
It will always imagine the map is empty, nothing is there. Whenever it is creating first entry first time, at that time it will first initialize it to 0, and then as per your question it will increase it to 1.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
And if you are, again I suggest, if you are using C right now, please switch to C++. Even if you don't know anything, generally what people do mistake is like they first start learning the language and they think, yeah, I'll first learn language for 1 month and then I'll switch. So I'll again suggest, if any one of you is using C, just switch to C++. Just use these two things instead of printf, scanf, C in, C out. Rest everything is same.
Sure, sir. I'll do it.
Well, because there are many powerful features which we'll see and which you all definitely know in future, which you cannot be able to solve in C on your own. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So yeah. So let's, where were we? So we had created a map. Now what the problem we were facing is like how to traverse it. So in array, you know ki, so if you have basics of C, you already know ki in array what we can index any value by its index. Like if I'll just write this value C of A of 3, so it knows where to go over here, right? But inside map there is no such indexing. Map is just a single, you can imagine again as a table. You can just look at from outside. Let's say this is some table. So first I'll just show ki after writing these lines, we have created this table. Okay. Now how to traverse it? So what it map provides us is, so you must be knowing pointers, right? Hello?
Yeah, we know that.
You are cool. So what it does is there's some pointer key, you can point it to here or point it to last value. So generally we start from here. Some disturbance is coming. One second. Can you just mute yourself? Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah. So 1, 3, 2, 3. Yeah. Where were we? Yeah. So we can point a pointer over here at the initial at the starting of the table. So our point is, let's say this is some pointer, this arrow. Just forget this line. Let's say C plus this our C plus plus is providing us this arrow. So this array is pointing over here. You don't know anything else. So now you can print it. Using this arrow, you can print it 1 and 3. Now you can increment this pointer.
So
Yes.
so can I say that this pointer is holding the base address of this?
You can say that. Yes, yes, definitely. Obviously, that is how it's working. But even if you don't know, you can just can you? Some disturbance is coming. Can anyone of you mute yourself? Yeah. So right. What you can do is, sorry, where were we? So you can say this is obviously pointing a base address, but even if you just imagine that there is some arrow which is pointing over here, printing 1 and 3. Now you will increment it, which is some, let's say this, I'm just writing in very simple English, pointer plus plus. So this arrow will come over here. Now you can print this. Now you'll again do this pointer plus plus like you do inside this for loop. This comes here and it will print this thing. 4, 5. Now how we are increment and how we'll point and how we will all this, but that's how it's gonna work. So this pointer is called as iterator. So to access a map, you need an iterator. This is all, the logic is very easy for STL. It's very simple, but just only part is you just need to learn the syntax, and that you can learn by practicing. So I'll just show how. Let's now create a iterator. So iterator is just look like the map syntax. You first need to copy the same int comma end. Now you just need to write these 2 columns, iterator, and name it. So this is the declaration part. Key map, this brackets and IT. Now we'll just see. So in the logic, what we did is we first pointed this arrow at the at the top of the table. So how to do that? So I'll just show you an analogy. So for array, how you access it? For 0 to I less than some, let's say I'm using this I not equal to n and I plus plus. That's how you traverse an array. To map is also simple, but here you don't have indexes. So what you have is frequency dot begin. So what this line does is it will just provide you a pointer which is pointing to the beginning of that map. And here you know कि यार जब my I will be equal to n, I need to come out of the loop. So here when you will come out when it is not equal to, so it knows the end address of the map as well. So it will provide you the end address, or you can say at the line. So whenever this pointer comes out of the map table, you just this will be my terminating condition, and this IT plus plus like the I plus plus. So we'll just again see what we are doing it over here. So again so whenever I write m dot this map dot begin or map name dot begin, I got this arrow. Now I will check whether it is not at the end or not. If it is not, then I'll just print and then IT plus plus, it will come down. Now I have the arrow. But now how to print these things? So you know map has two things. One is the key and one is the value. So what we need to do is, so this is a proper syntax. You cannot do anything about it. That's how C++ has implemented this. So this IT, so you know already know pointers. The pointers say you can just point to that value. So IT dot first will print the key, and IT dot second will print the value. So that's how you can just print the map. Now we'll just check it once. Let's run it. What is its name? Just 1 second. Sequence. Let me just check whether I've done it correctly or not. Frequency.cpp. Okay, it got compiled. So first we have to give input. I'm giving 5 inputs: 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, and 4. So if you see, this is our map. So 1 ka frequency is 1, 2 ka frequency is 1, 3 ka frequency is 2, and 4 ka frequency is 1. But if you see properly, you can see that keys are in the sorted order, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is a property of map. Where I was.
Sir.
Yeah. 1 second. So whenever you print this map, so it stores like this. You don't need care how, but it will always, you can just imagine map like, let's again create a map or something. Let's say you have some these 3 values, 1, 3, 2, 2. So it will first 1 ka frequency 1, 3 ka frequency is 1. Now it will store 2. It will always store the keys in a sorted order. So 2 will be here. 2 ka frequency is 1. And now 2 comes again, 2 ka frequency is 2. So this is a very important point. Map always stores keys in sorted order. And another
Sir?
point is, yes.
Sir, keys in sorted order or the values in sorted order?
No, only the keys. So if,
Okay, sir.
if you can see,
So and
so in this table also you can see ki
so I was asking that
yeah, tell me.
for all type of containers, like if I have to iterate all type of containers, then that condition will be same for all type of containers.
Which
Like
condition?
you have used the begin function and end method
Yeah,
for that.
for most of the them it will be same.
So like for loop.
So yeah, I'll just show
Okay,
afterwards.
sir.
We'll discuss set also. So in the set also it's kind of same. So if you learn map now, map is the most important thing as per me. So if you learn map, everything is almost same. That's why I'm taking so much time on just explaining this map thing. Then set and all thing will be very similar. So in this example, you
Yes,
can.
sir. So actually, I was quite confused that is that condition will be same or not.
Yeah, don't even think about the next containers right now. Just think, yeah, you only have map, and just think, yeah,
Okay,
we don't have any container. Yeah. So you can see these are the keys which are in sorted, but the values are not sorted. So keys and values will be together, but keys will be sorted. Another point is map does not contain duplicate keys. So you cannot create, your map will never be like this. Key 1 ka frequency 1, 2 ka frequency 1, 2 ka frequency is again 1. So there cannot be 2 keys with the same number inside a map. So these are the 2 properties which you need to learn, or you can just remember. The map always store the keys in a sorted order. Map does not contain duplicate keys. So this is the part we have discussed, key map, right? So another thing is, till now it is clear, or I don't, if you have any doubt, just let me, I'll repeat, no issues.
So clear.
Everyone else?
Yeah, it's all clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Cool.
Just one doubt. So that iterator is compulsory to define, right?
Yes.
To access map.
Yes. So to traverse a map, you always need a iterator.
Okay.
Another thing that is very powerful in map is a find function. Not function, just
Sir, actually first will always point out to the key and second will always point out to values.
Yes, good
Right.
question. Yes. I'll just again repeat. So this is a predefined syntax. You cannot write third or fourth. It is always predefined syntax. And it dot first will point to key, and it dot second will point to value. Okay. Now let's see one more. There are many functions present inside the mat. So if one function like this is find. So find is basically, as you can imagine it by the name, find is you are just finding something. Let's say you don't want to. So one way of finding something is like, let's say I want to check whether 4 is present or not inside this table. So one of the thing you can see is you will just iterate throughout the map and you will check here whether this 4 key is present inside or not. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
We are listening.
Okay. So now another. So this will take. We'll just take about the complexity later on. We'll just discuss the complexity. But now what you are doing is to find 4. You are just, so let's say you have some map. One. Let's say just it's very simple. 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. So you need to find 4. So you will just go here, and then you'll find here 4 is there. So it is very. It is not an optimal solution. It is taking more time. So for that, map provides you a find function. Now you just need to write. So you have a frequency map. So you just need to point that arrow basically, which can point to that key if it is present. So we have an iterator. So if I write like this, key frequency dot find, and you can always find through key, not the value. So if you provide 4 over here, so if it is present, you will get a key and you can print cout it dot first and it dot second. Handle. But now what happens if it is not over there? So again you will get it as this frequency dot end. So if it is not there, it will return your pointer to the end of the table. If it is there, it will point to the it will give you the pointer to that particular key. So I can
is it it arrow first or it dot first?
Sorry, no, not dot. It is always a pointer.
Okay.
It is always a point arrow. Good question. So now where were we? So you can write like this. If you have to find it is equal to this, just let's say frequency dot find. This is frequency only, just writing a short name. If it is not equal to n, this f dot n. So it means I have the key and I can print the it dot first and it dot second, and else I can print cout not found. Now let's talk about the complexities, which is a very, so whenever you learn any container, just think it as a black box. You don't need to go into detail how it is implementing the table inside or not. Just use it as a black box. You know what it does and in what complexity it does. That is the second most important point in coding, complexities. We don't care about the we don't only care about the solution. We also want to make it the best. So we should know the complexities. So complexity is like, so whenever you are, so map creation will always take, so for n entities it will be n log n. So to create a map, it will take you n log n time. Basically to insert every number or anything, it will take log n time. So for n numbers, it will be n cross log n. Now find function will also, you can find any number in log n time. So this find function is taking log n time to find the key. So now if I give you a question, here find a number inside an array. So what you can do is, and let's say I'm giving you again and again such numbers. So if you will create an array, you will take order of n time to find something, right? But inside a map,
Sir, can you repeat the time complexity?
Okay. So can you just you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. I am able to see the screen. Can you repeat the time complexity?
Okay. So for map, so for inserting every number or every key, should not write this as a number, my bad. Inserting every key and value pair, it will take log n time. Basically, a log of size of the map till now. So if you are inserting n numbers, it will be n log n. Also, to find the any key, so let's say I'm giving you a question. Let's talk about in terms of question. Let's say I am giving you a question 7, 4, 6. Now I ask
Sir,
you to,
isn't it taking constant time to insert into a hash map? There is order of 1, right?
so there are two maps. That's why I don't want to confuse you. So one is the ordered map, one is the unordered map.
Oh, okay.
So we are talking about the ordered one, so which is keeping in the sorting order.
Oh,
So
got it.
in C++, this map will always keep map is always keeping inside the sorted, like a sorted key, so it will always take log n time.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say I am giving a question, so you have some numbers and you need to find some number. Let's say I'm giving you 7, you need to find this print yes. If I'm giving you 8, you say no, 8 is not present. Now, if you implement it in an array, so every find will take order and time, right? It's clear here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but if you'll put all the values inside a map and then if you search, then you can get it in log n time. So if I'm asking you to find n numbers, earlier you were taking, so for every number you were taking order n, so for n numbers you were earlier taking n square time. But in map, you can find n numbers in total n log n time.
So using binary search, we can
Yeah,
simplify this, no?
that is also a way, obviously. You can sort an array and then you can apply the binary search. But you will need to write the code for binary search, right? But now you will just you write m.find it. So that's what I'm saying. Inside internal implementation is like kind of binary search only because it is storing in a binary search tree. But you don't care about it. You just think here this is gonna return me in log n func time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, so that's what I'm, so that's the power of map. Now I'll show you one more example like we discussed, which will show you here it's how it simples are like. So let's say you need to find the frequency of strings. The strings are like my name. So let's say some n numbers, not numbers, sorry. N is n strings. Shikhar, let's say some is Rahul. Let's say some is Sita, or let's say anything. Rahul again. Let's take an example. So now you need to find these frequencies. So one way is like you will just check every string with every other string, which will take your order of n square. Hashing you cannot do right now, the simple hashing, because arrays index were only numbers, not the string, right? But now if you look at our map, we have the power. Here we can set any key. So I can write it like this. Map of string. So my key is string, but my value is still frequency, right? So it will be number. So it is int. And again frequency. So now this question will be like very simple. So if again I'll say that's why I prefer C++. So char array is very complicated. So that's why please prefer.
I was about to ask you that question, sir. So can't we write map char star int and then define the map?
Yeah, I haven't tried that, to be very honest, but you can try. But I'm not sure whether that will work or not.
Okay, so in C++, character array is considered as string, right?
Yes.
So that's why you're directly taking string.
Yes, so that is very powerful thing. Again, you don't even, so in C++, you don't care about pointers anymore. You can just directly write a string, which is simple as all the traversal of the string. Everything is same as this char array only.
So can you please just going away? Can you just tell me what will be for a two-dimensional array of characters?
Good question again. So you can just create a single array of string. I'll just come to that one after 1 minute. We can just
okay.
Just 1 second. Let's assume you have some string thing over here. So here for I is equal to 0, say I less than n numbers and I plus plus. You can just do like this. So I have some string array, string s of 10. So every, like you store an integer arrays, we can store string arrays. So first I am just taking all the strings s of I. Now again I write a loop for I is equal to 0, say I is equal to less than n. Basically we have 4 strings and it will be as simple as that. Frequency of s of I plus plus. and afterwards print this map. Now just imagine once ki yaar, just try to solve this problem in C as compared to C++. It is gonna take, I mean, it's gonna take long time. But in C++, you are just able to solve this in this much part, and as simple as that. This is very powerful. Now,
Yes, sir.
now I'll just briefly describe about string who does not know. And
Yeah, so just my one doubt is let us consider a matrix of strings. So in the that word search board problem, right? So in that there are in a matrix there are multiple strings in row wise and column wise. So can you please tell me how we will define that in C++? That's the only doubt.
so you are saying you have some matrix of characters, right?
Yeah, matrix of strings, not characters. Yeah, exactly. There you have one string, yeah, row wise and column wise.
No, so in this, it's a character or a string?
String.
So this block will have some Rahul, or this,
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
or this will be like
exactly.
this. I'm not getting you.
No. That first one. That single block is Rahul.
So you can just create like this.
So two-dimensional string array, yeah.
Yes.
Array.
So
okay, because in C it's char star. That's why I wanted.
Yeah,
to
that's the problem with that. I'm getting you. I know, but it is to deal with pointers is always very complicated as far as my
Yes,
experience.
sir.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Right now you can just
Correct.
check the string like this as an integer only. You know ki yaar a of 2, 3 is some Rahul or Ram or whatever.
Okay. What about the other case where RAHUL?
So that you can still consider as that's the power of C++. You can as a model as string, or you can write it as.
Or character is by default a string.
Oh, got it.
So you can use both.
Yeah, I understood. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah, right.
but there is also difference na, that I mean to say that in C++ string is a class, right?
Yeah, string is a class, but can we just forget it for now? No need to complicate as of now. You can just take basically simple string. It will just work as it is. A good point if you want to go in detail, but we can discuss it offline. But for simple, if you don't care about any class, and because in college I didn't even know what a class inside C++ is, you can just simply use it as a primitive data type. Now, one more thought I'll just tell you is, let's say you have to compare two strings in C++. In C, you write some like, I don't know, I do not forgot, compare str, right? I'm not sure. What is this?
strcmp.
strcmp.
Right. So that's you pass some string pointers and so in C++. It's as simple as that. Let's say you have two string A and B. You can directly write this if A is equal to
A is equal to B.
So you can again A is equal to B, A less than B, A greater than B. It's as simple as that.
So ATOI, STOI and all are same, right, in C++ also?
Yeah, that is it. So one thing again I'll suggest. So you can use all the libraries of C like this. Just include this. So now this code can use printf, scanf, cin, cout, everything. So that's how you should code. Definitely you can sometimes use C, sometimes C++. So include both the libraries, and just now if I write something like this, printf, it will also work. And printf is faster than cout. I don't want to go in that much detail, but when I used to code, I used to print it like printf and not using C and cout. So you can use both.
You're actually right, sir. In that matrix problems or multiple string problems, C is a lot harder.
Yeah, it's very hard, man. I know. I left programming in first year and first semester, second semester because of this pointer. So that's how. And no need to even go first and search of string. Just start programming in C++. Just use C in cout, and then just whenever you are stuck at something, at that point you should go and Google something, not the other way around. Okay. So I think map is pretty much covered. So in all the one thing is like again, there are many functions. You can just after this lecture you can just go through the net and see. So you can also, there's a function called frequency.size, which will just print the map size. So yeah, now we can So map is clear. Any doubts till now?
Clear, sir.
Clear. Okay. Anyone, if you have, no need to be any afraid or something. Yes. Okay. Now let's. Now just
Sir,
let.
one thing to ask, sir, what the time complexity of map creation you were saying?
So for inserting every element, it takes log of
Log of n.
size, basically map size. So yeah, so ultimately it will be for n numbers, it will be n log n.
Okay. So any time
So
complexity for
one more
map
thing.
creation,
Sorry.
sir. For example, if we write as map in comma in frequency, so is this line is allocating some memory or nothing else?
No, nothing. At that time it's
Okay,
only
so as
decorating.
as soon as the element is inserted, then the memory will be used.
Yeah.
Okay, so that time you were telling unordered map takes order of one, ordered map takes order of log n. So while doing coding, which map should we use? Which is better to use?
I never encountered any problem in competitive where I use unordered, because unordered does not store in a sorted order.
So that's what complexity is order of one, right? So does it make a difference when we take large amount of data?
Sometimes it might, it depends on the constraints, but in 95 or I can say 96% map will always work, because log n factor is not that big factor. But yeah, obviously sometimes you can, in the interviews or something, they want you to tell about the unordered map also. So just that you can see, there is also, I can write, there is also a multi-map. So multi-map is like, so we discussed the map cannot store the duplicate keys, right?
Yes, sir.
Multi-map can store duplicate keys. So there are various containers, but ultimately you only need to use map, set, vectors, and priority queues. Queues we'll discuss later. But obviously,
So this doesn't matter then.
just you can just use as of map as of now. But yeah, but you should know about everything. That's what I'm saying. Just don't depend on this lecture. After this lecture, search keyword, all other alternatives are there and anything. But keep practicing. I'll again say. So everything is clear as of now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Let's come to set now. So set is again very simple thing, simpler than map. So set you can just, so in map there were two things, keys and values, right? So set only have one thing. You can say a key or anything, just some values. So basically set stores something, like, so you can just store, think of set as like a box which stores some single thing, not the pairs. So let's say I have, and so I'll just set also stores in sorted order. Okay. So these are all same. Let's say I'm using this 1, 2, 3, 4. The syntax can be different, but more or way things they are doing are same. Like let's say 8, 9, 9. So if I not like let's say like this 10. So if I just, let's say I start putting inside this set, it will be, after putting all the numbers, it will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, and 10. So
Set also stores in sorted order, sir. Is it correct?
yes. I write the first line.
So then what's the difference between set and map? They both are storing the data in sorted order.
Sir, I think sir set may be sir not stored in sorted order.
Then it's again an ordered set and ordered set. So I'll just show you an example. You might be confused with Java.
Okay.
Java set does not store in sorted order because that is an unordered set. But in C++ set, it's always stored in a sorted order. And the difference, like you asked, very good question. What is the difference between map and set? So map was storing two things: keys associated with value. Set only stores one thing, which is, you can say, as a key. Store basically only keys or value, anything you can name it. That set will store some value, basically some values. So after putting all the numbers in a set, you can just, if you print the set, it will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. One thing you can notice again, it is similar to set, is like it also does not store duplicate values. I'll show you an example. It's very simple. So that's why I spend a longer time on map, because now everything will you will get it very simple. I'm just copying this part of code. So to declare to use the set, you just need to include this library set. Now let's say you want to store basically initially numbers. So again, for I is equal to 0, say int I less than I plus C and C. C now of I. Now to declare a set, it's kind of simple as map. Earlier there were two things, now there is only one thing. So there's one thing I am just writing first, like syntax right now. And set name. This is the basic syntax. Now this one thing is depends on what kind of values you are inserting into the map. In our case, it is integer. And let's set name is some, what should I name it? Let's say some st. Okay. Now you need to insert this value inside the set.
Can you please tell me what is the application of set?
Yeah, I'll just tell you afterwards. Just 1 minute. Just simple first, and then we'll discuss the applications. So as dot insert. So yeah, this is the difference between one difference in the implementation. In map you are just directly accessing m of something. Here it provides you a function as dot insert. So here you can just insert this. So to insert anything inside set, you need to use this function and pass the any value you want. Now printing is same, like we declared an iterator over there. You also need to, and similar kind of thing, iterator it. Now it will again same, this sc dot begin, it not equal to sc dot end, it plus plus. Now there is no first and second over here, so you can print it using, like you already knowing pointer like this. So there are only syntax differences. So if I just, let's save it as something set app, something might be, let's check once. What is a mistake? Seed of set name is st. Got compiled. Let's run it. Five numbers, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. Did I do it some mistake? Just one thing. And
Sir, you have repeated the loop 2 times.
Where?
Sir, you have repeated the for
sorry.
loop 2 times.
Okay, good. Sorry. Okay. Let's like this 2, 2, 1, 3, and 4. So now you can see it is giving you the output in the sorted order, and one value only appears at the one time. So set application like you are talking about, so set is, you can say, as a simple version of map only. Even I didn't get any useful application of set as such, but you can assume it like, let's say you have some distinct, I can give you a question. I'm not giving you, just giving an example. So let's say you just need to, like I discussed in map. So if you need to find some number, or let's say I give you a better example. Let's say find distinct numbers in an array. So let's say you have some 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. You can just what is this? This answer should be 4, right? So set just what you need to do is you can just insert them in set and add. So just insert them. So a set will look like this, and at the end just print cout dot this set dot size. So like map also, set also provides you a set dot size function. Now you must be wondering कि यार this ये तो मैं मतलब I can do that this in map also, right? Yes, again I'll say you can do, but there is no need of any value over here. So you can use set. मतलब it's up to you. You can use map also. मतलब it's up to you always. Any doubt?
No doubt.
Okay. Now let's discuss about the complexities again. Same set creation and log n. Set maybe there is a find function. We'll check that also. That will log n set. So it is also simple. Is equal to like this set dot find. It's always it's now very simple thing. If it is not equal to st dot n, it's all same for set and map. Cout star it else cout not found. Okay, so let's try to run this one thing. So we are trying to find 3 because it's hard coded. 2, 2, 1, 3, 4. So it is printing 3 at the end. Now let's give another example. 5 where 3 is not present. 4, 5, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, sorry. 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How to say 3 is not found. Fine. So I think you should first. I'll just 1 second. I'm just sharing some. Is there a chat option inside here? You can see. There was no. Okay. I'll also share 1, 2, 3 questions I have written over here, which I was able to found. I'll just paste it inside the chat. You can solve this. Or you can solve many other problems also, but these problems they are very basics of map and set, whatever it can be. Okay, so I think it's already 1.5 hours, so not able to. Let's not cover other data structures as of now.